Hi guys, I'm going to continue in that vein. Sorry for the light on the other one. It's early in the morning. I'm usually, I'm not awake yet. I haven't had much sleep, but I'd like to continue in that vein. People say, well, what are you doing? You're not helping. Listen, my story is serving as what not to do. Okay, this is what young women need to understand. As someone who goes up on welfare, you're told repeatedly you're not going to amount to anything, you're not going to have a lot of money, so on and so forth. And you'd be pleasantly surprised. I certainly was. After a 20-year marriage, making the minimum of, let's say, an office job over $30,000 a year, you can accrue over $500,000. That's a lot of money. And I only lived about on $10,000 a year because I did so much thrifting. We know how frugal we can be because we have to juggle bills every month. Okay, and we get very good at it, but these men don't appreciate a woman like that. And I will continue to talk about that. And I will get better with my videos, and I apologize because they're ruining my looks and my health, so I can't make videos because this is what they do. So now I start a new project. I have transferable skills, and this is what they do. But this video is about, people are going to find themselves in hard times. Homelessness is going to increase because this is what's going on in our communities. And certainly you need to be able to survive, and you need to know what to do because people think it's funny to be homeless, and it could very easily end up being homeless. So what I'd like to continue to talk about is why Amsterdam doesn't have a code blue. I tried to look for one. It didn't seem to be one. That month in February, I showed you a video there thanking you, showing you some of my photography and being rough sleeping in 8 below weather in the winter. And these ladies sat around and thought it was funny. It's very difficult. You learn the hard way things like your water freezes, okay? But you don't know what the temperature is. You don't think about it because you're so used to being housed. You have to really educate yourself about what the temperature is, what to do in situations like this, sort of like a winter camping. And we'll get into more of that because more people are finding themselves homeless. And certainly they don't care now if you're homeless in the winter. Here we are in the Adirondacks. Only 1,300 people up there in Fulton and the village of Broadalbin, but they got to be this hateful. And certainly I have family there. So we'll continue to discuss what it's like to be homeless in the winter. I have posters that might be finding themselves homeless this winter, and it's a horrible thing, but it can be survivable. And we'll get more into that. And I was following the code blue in Albany because I didn't see one for Amsterdam. There was code blues all that month of February. It was extremely cold. There was code blues often, and I was following the one in Albany, and it was helping a lot with me to make sure, even during the day, if I had to walk and get water and food, shout out to Walmart. They were very, very good, and I hope I don't have to be homeless again because they continue to make more threats, okay? To get some supplies, to get a sleeping bag, to get different things that you're going to be able to survive, okay? In blizzards, in 8 below weather, and various other conditions, your safety, so on and so forth. So we'll continue to talk about that. If I do anything, I can serve as a bad example, what not to do to make over $500,000 over a 20-year marriage and find yourself in a dirty parking lot being told to go suck dick. Yeah, they think that's funny at the police department. They think it's funny in our court system. They thought it was funny at social services. They think it's funny at the hospital. So they think it's funny to come up with some more legalese and think it's funny to say, oh, put on your pussy hat. And it's called, oh, I don't know, economic abuse. No, it's stealing. Okay? Nothing new under the sun. You don't steal from your children. You don't steal from your parents. Not paying your child support is stealing. Dumping your parents in a nursing home and expecting the state to pay for them if you have the means is stealing. And also stealing from your wife. We don't need to put a whole new thing to get what is rightfully ours after being told, oh, if you only have career skills, everything will be fine. Well, everything's not fine. So women were dumped. My grandmother had to raise her daughter and me and start over waitressing because you couldn't own land. You couldn't have a credit card. So they told us to go out there and get skills, and women do. Women work slave jobs. They get skills, they get money, and we're told we don't have access to what's rightfully ours. I certainly didn't. With all these properties, there was 8 properties disposed of around this time because I took care of my mother-in-law, her sister who had mental illness, and we'll get into that. And so on and so forth, but I end up in a parking lot. So, ladies, we need to talk about, and then they wonder why the young women aren't getting married. It's not about love. It's about making sure that you shouldn't walk away from a 20-year marriage being sitting in a parking lot and have these women laugh and joke and tell you how they're all into witchcraft. It's ridiculous. Okay, so just stop. Already, just stop and try to be the mothers that you tell everybody you are, or try to be the good maternal wives that you tell everybody you are, and stop being so hateful. So we'll all continue. I hope nobody's homeless this winter. It's horrible. It's awful. And we need to talk more about these cold blues, this neighborhood watch, and preparing people for tough times ahead. Be safe, guys.